I know an intern from McWannabe, the developers that made Kong. Oh, that's... I'm sorry to hear that. Well, not only because the game's bad, but I just read that story about why Rise of Kong is so shitty. They overworked the devs and forced them to basically make it as quickly and as cheaply as possible, to the surprise of no one. So I feel bad for your friend. It took them a year. I'm actually surprised it took them that long. They could have made this in a month if they had just used assets. And it probably would have turned out better. You're telling me a company called GameMill overworked the devs and forced the game out within a year. Isn't that beautiful? It's always who you least expect. How could a company like GameMill be bad? I do feel bad for the devs, I really do. It's not like they wanted to make this. Or, rather, it's not like they wanted to make this in the state that it released in. They did the same shit too for big rigs. Yeah, you know, we can dive into it real quick. If you guys don't know GameMill, you know of their work. GameMill is notorious for, like, actually some of the biggest stinkers the industry has ever seen. Most infamously, big rigs over-the-road racing. Back in the early YouTube days, everyone made a video on this. It was like a rite of passage. I made one. I made a big rigs over-the-road racing video a long time ago. It is, to date, still probably one of the worst games ever made. It's a game that is so fucking bad. If you drive in reverse, you can get infinite speed. Nothing works. Like, it is impressive how bad Big Rigs is. And it shipped. It released. It was a game you could purchase. Would have to purchase if you wanted to play it. That's GameMill. It also led to a meme that was pretty prevalent in its day called Your Winner. When you'd win your race, even though you weren't racing against anyone, because there wasn't, like, AI or anything, really. There was nothing. It was just an empty plane, and your car was magnetized to it. So if you were going up a mountain, you'd go 90 degrees up that mountain, fucking stick into each and every nook and cranny of it. And this is GameMill's legacy. 20 years, and they're still able to deliver the same dog shit quality that they were known for 2 decades ago. It's almost inspiring. You'd think in 20 years they would have some level of... pride's not the right word. Some level of drive to want to make something good, but they just don't. They're perfectly content making nearly unplayable garbage. Like, actual garbage. Hold on. Let me see if they made one other game I'm about to mention. They did. They also... it's crazy. They are also responsible, just this year, not even just this year, just a couple weeks ago, responsible for a horrible dog shit game we played called Avatar Quest for Balance. This is also GameMill. Just recently streamed this one, too. Haven't you played this? Just played this. Because it just came out. The game is only 2 weeks old. I just fucking played it. And they already came back and said, we can do better. This was so good I want to try it for a second time, and then made Rise of Kong. I think if you're going by, like... it's not fair to put them on the same plane as, like, a AAA developer, because they're not. They're not a AAA developer. But if you're just going by studios that make the worst games, GameMill is at that top of the list. It has to be. It has to be. They have not made a game that isn't abominable and insulting. Playing a GameMill game is more painful than getting, like, a colonoscopy while being awake and no anesthetic. It's brutal. The games are miserable. For 20 years. 20 years. I'd actually argue they're only getting worse. Because they did make one game that I guess isn't the worst thing the world's ever seen. It's called Big Buck Hunter. I'm sure you've seen this at, like, Dave & Buster's, or if you go to, like, your local dive bar, they probably have this tucked away in a corner somewhere. They did work on a Big Buck Hunter game. Let me see which one it was. Oh, they just own the entire thing, it seems. The titty one? Well, kind of. It's not like real titties or anything, or like actual honkers. It's not the selling point of the game, but yeah, there is, I guess, a little bit like that. Okay. So, another fun fact about GameMill. Somehow, and I double checked this, they are like the sole studio that gets these giant IPs to put in for like your most beloved franchises. So, they have G.I. Joe, Frozen, all of the Nickelodeon games, Cartoon Network, and where was the other one? Cobra Kai. There it is. This is all GameMill. Somehow they get the rights to all of these properties to make these games, and they make them as bad as can be. And I don't know why. I don't know why companies choose GameMill to license with. So they sell to children. Yeah, but you know what sells better to children is a good game. No child is going to get Rise of Kong and recommend it to his friends. It's not going to happen. They'll just play like a Roblox game instead or something. Because you get a lot more value and a lot more fun out of it. If you really wanted to sell something to kids, it needs to at least be something somewhat fun. Because the alternatives are... GameMill almost made me puke. The alternatives are innumerable and free. Roblox custom games, Fortnite custom games, and they're all free. You can't make games like this and expect them to do well in the child space. It's too competitive. You might be able to fool a couple of parents into accidentally purchasing this for their kid's birthday or Christmas and ruin the whole event like the fucking Grinch, but past that, you're not making real long-term sales. Yeah, it is literally a game mill. It is a very appropriately named studio. What else do they have coming up? Let me see. I want to see what upcoming games they have. What else can I get excited for from them? The next generation of Nickelodeon kart racers they're advertising. That's their big one. Slime Speedway, which I fucking hated. I tried it. Here, let's see. NHRA Speed for All is such a great title. I've told this isn't a story, but this is like a regret of mine. I was at a Walmart like 6 years ago and I saw this incredibly awful shirt on display. It said something like, Big Speed made for speed, or something stupid like that. And it was neon green, and I really regret not buying it. And this name just brought that wound back to life and poured salt in it. An American Ninja Warrior game. Cool. Goosebumps the game. Big Hero 6. Like, why do they get these licenses? What about news? Give me upcoming shit. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I guess the NHRA is the big one coming up. No, this was in 2021. Their website isn't kept up to date. What about their YouTube channel? 3 months ago, Avatar. No! Wait! I totally forgot they're making the Walking Dead game as well. We talked about that months ago. They're making that fucking awful Walking Dead game. Let's go! The game mill thrill doesn't stop, baby. It doesn't stop. Yes!
Peggy 18.
It's this pile of shit we looked at a long time ago.
Nobody has to die. Everyone who's alive, right now. Everyone has made it this far.
It has to be conscious, right? Like, they have to be doing this on purpose. You have to try so hard to make a modern game look this bad. There are so many assets you could just borrow. Just pay for them, use them, and it wouldn't look this bad. They have to do it on purpose. God, I can't wait for this.
All done the worst kinds of things to stay alive. We're brothers. Doesn't have to be this way.
This is exciting.
I don't even recognize you anymore. No, no, no! We're not too far gone. I know. We all change.
Shane, you have to help us. What do
Spoilers? Not quite.
It's gonna be easy.
Because this changes the story if you if you want it to. You can be Rick, or you can be this guy who vaguely resembles Shane if he was a lobotomite. So cool. Oh my god, that's GameMill in a nutshell. That's so good.
I don't think we have a choice.
But Walking Dead, another huge property that for some reason GameMill gets to abuse. They just have a gluttonous appetite to ruin IP. Even though Walking Dead ruined itself, but like all the other ones they do, Avatar, all that. It's craziness. It's craziness. It has to be some kind of like... I don't want to use the word scam in the legal sense. But like someone at GameMill must be really persuasive to these like these heads of studios to get these licenses. Like he must be like Lelouch with like the Gios. He's able to convince someone to give them their license one time. It's inexplicable. Because their track record is 20 years of trash. What do the comments on this look like? List of GameMill games. Yes, please, give us more slop. They probably crapped this game out for less than 20,000 all told. That's peanuts to AMC. Yeah, but you still get anything out of it for AMC except ruining your IP, which a lot of companies care a lot about for obvious reasons. It's why they don't just ship off their IP willy-nilly. It ruins the brand. And GameMill is like the optimal spot to ruin a brand. It just doesn't make sense. GameMill is the exception. It's the only place that companies feel comfortable ruining their shit with. I don't get it. Thanks, Fern. You played the NHRA drag racing game, by the way. It was made by the Flatout 3 studio. Is that the game I played? So I played a GameMill game without knowing it. Is that the one that kept fucking breaking down on me? Or the car, not the game. The car kept breaking down on me anytime I tried to start it. Was that GameMill? Yeah? Oh, that's so hype. I probably played their entire catalog during Steam bad game nights when we dumpster dive on Steam new releases without realizing it. I have actually probably played every goddamn thing they've ever pumped out. I'm the most knowledgeable GameMill consumer. I'm their target demographic. You're the reason they're still around. Yeah, everyone in the company wants to close down desperately, like pack it up, but one guy's like, no, we can't. Not when there's still work to be done for Charles. He needs bad games to play on stream. Hold on, give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Alright. Thanks for that, Lush. The Walking Dead wasn't even that good at dragged on. Well, yeah, Walking Dead, like I said, kind of ruined itself. Alright, but I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta get up early. Alright, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We got the simulcasting stream working tonight. Covered a lot of good stories. Played Fears to Fathom, finished it. Overall, W night. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I will see you all tomorrow. And Treasure Planet is a great film. I agree, Breezy. Take it easy, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for the generosity. Have a good night.